Hello and welcome back to Far from the Truth, episode 15. 1-5.
Crazy.
We're back again. Another episode this week. Showing some consistency over the Christmas period. Busy schedule, but we're back again. How are you, bro? You good?
Yeah, man. Yeah, all good. Like you said, just busy. Obviously, Christmas coming up and that. Like coming up to the last sort of week of work, and then a little bit of time off over the new year. Um,
Yeah, lovely.
but yeah, obviously the football doesn't stop.
Doesn't.
We've got games coming thick and fast before then. I think there's 4, 5, maybe even 6 more games. No, yeah, 4. I think 4 more games before the end of the year.
Yeah.
So
Busy
yeah, man,
time.
just thick and fast, and well, that sounds crazy. Um, but but yeah, looking forward to the Christmas period, man. What about you?
Yeah, man. Like it's that notorious time in football where there's just a game all the time. You know, there's just football. I'm a bit disappointed with the Boxing Day fixtures this year.
Yeah,
Usually like to see some good games around that time, but we're not getting it this year. And I'm really looking forward to the games coming up. I think it's a crucial period for so many teams. Things
mm,
can hit like in 4 weeks. Things can go from, you know, you can go from being top of the tree to being in a crisis. Um, the games come so fast as well. So many injuries take place, so it can all change up. And
don't
you know,
forget,
this is
obviously, like players going to AFCON as well. Like a lot
exactly
of teams gonna be missing their AFCON players. So there's that to consider, maybe for the next 3 to 4 weeks as well. So yeah, like you say, it's just this is the period where you sort of almost set your sights on where you're going to be come May. I think once you come from December to the end of January, this next, like, from now until the end of Jan, I think a lot of teams are going to find out exactly how good they are, and where they might finish at the end of the season. So it is usually the best and busiest period of the calendar. So looking forward to it, man.
yeah, 100%. You got your Christmas gifts all sorted?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Yeah, a bit of money come out, so as per usual. But
yeah,
yeah, all
trust,
sorted, man.
yeah, trust, man. Nah, mate, but it was a crazy Premier League week again. It
Hmm.
just there was so many ups and downs, and this week I know we're going to talk about some of the fixtures that took place. We're going to go into the title race a little bit as well
Hmm.
because it is heating up now.
Yeah.
Top four race as well seems to, there seems to be a little bit more of stability with certain teams, and gaps are starting to open up around the table a little bit.
Hmm.
And we're also going to talk about nearing the halfway point, our flops of the season, most overrated players, and the best players of the season so far
Absolutely.
in the pod. So that's the agenda for today, bro.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
I think there's one place we should start, and I think 8 p.m. Saturday night,
Hmm.
I was down the pub having a few beers,
Hmm.
had my live score notifications on, and was expecting to see a few notifications during that time period. But
Yeah.
it was quiet, bro, until the 70th minute, and I saw an own goal, and I thought, I'll take that. It's
Yeah.
a goal. It's against Wolves. I was expecting 5-0, Glock 14 hat trick,
Yeah.
and then my phone buzzed again, and I was like, seemed about 25 minutes. So I thought, oh, that's
Yeah.
it, beating 1-0, and I saw Wolves 1, Arsenal 1, and then 90.
Yeah.
I couldn't actually believe it.
Hmm.
And then it pinged again, like 4 minutes later. I thought, we've just gone and drawn to Wolves. And it said 2-1 Arsenal. And that, like, if any other live score users, it doesn't show like the name until the goal's been confirmed.
Mm.
And for a good minute and a half, no one's name popped up.
Mm.
And I thought, like, this is going to be chalked off by VAR, bro. Like, we've drawn to Wolves. Like, there's something on there. And then I got the notification and the full-time whistle. But yeah, it was a shocking performance.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad Arsenal got the 3 points, and it's one of them ones that you just take, you move on, and you take the points and you try and learn from it. What were your thoughts on that game?
Yeah, man. It was a tough watch. It really was a tough watch. I think like it reminded me so much of like last season. Like where Arsenal would sort of like waste 45 minutes just sort of passing the ball side to side to side and back. And that's literally what happened. Like we just wasted 45 minutes. We didn't create anything. We didn't have a shot on target until minute 70. And it was just like I thought in my head, and this might sound dumb, but like this game's going to go one or two ways. Either we're going to win 5-0 and it's going to just breeze through, or it's going to be one of those really annoying games where like we just can't hit a barn door. We just get really unlucky. We don't play well, and we like scrape a draw or something, or just like something dumb happens.
Mm.
And the longer time was going on, the more I was getting like that feeling of like we're gonna draw this game. And I could just see it already the next day. The headlines like Arsenal absolute flopping to the worst team in the league since Derby County. And then obviously we got the goal, and I didn't like this is how bad we were playing. I didn't even celebrate. I just laughed because like it was a dumb I'm sure you've seen it now. Like
Yeah.
obviously hits the post and comes back off Sam Johnston and goes in. Like I didn't even celebrate. I just laughed, and like my mate who I was talking to, the Arsenal fan as well, he said the same thing. He was like, I didn't even celebrate because like we weren't playing well, and then like you said, another sort of 10-15 minutes goes by, and Wolves are now passing the ball around, like keeping the ball. And I think they must have made like 15 to 20 passes like before their goal, and like no Arsenal player was like trying to shut them down or like trying to tackle like. And I could see it. I was like, if no one tackles someone in a minute, like they're gonna have a shot or like they're gonna get the ball in the box or something. And they did that exact thing. Obviously, a sort of flick on header and it went in. And I was just like, man, my heart just. I was just literally in my head. I was just like, surely Arsenal are not doing this to me again, like again. But credit to the team, they didn't just like roll over and die. They actually like they went up the pitch again, kept the ball, and Saka. To be fair to him, Saka's probably the only player on that pitch who can like hold his head up at the end of the game and say like he actually like tried and like did quite well. Like normally Declan Rice is a sure thing, 7 out of 10 every game, but even he was way off it on his standards.
Mm.
However, it's 3 points. Hopefully they learn from it. Hopefully it's not a case of like what Liverpool were doing at the start of the season where they just scraped through 5 or 6 games in a row. Hopefully it's just a one-off and like, do you know what I mean? So if that's the case, then fine. Like because you're never going to play well every single game. You're never going to win every game 5-0. You know, and it was important to get back to winning ways after the Villa game. But I just wasn't impressed with how we played, mate.
No, it was. Yeah, it was. And I think the most surprising thing was I thought we were going to rest players.
Mm.
I remember a message to you. I was like, "That's a really strong starting line."
Strong, mate. Yeah, very strong lineup.
I was expecting Zubamendi to at least have a rest. I thought Madueke might even get a start. I was even thinking, is Gabriel Jesus gonna
Mm.
but I think Arteta knew how important that game was because
Yeah.
it's 3 points at the end of the day, and Man City are breathing down our necks, and so are Villa, and it's also, as you said, it's bouncing back from that Aston Villa loss that's so important, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's why Arteta went so strong. Also, a few of them had a rest in the week because they didn't play a full 90.
Mm.
And I think, Arsenal, I mentioned to you off when we weren't recording, this is the first time Arsenal Football Club, as we speak right now, have got a week off since the 25th of August.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, not including international breaks, but that is that's a lot of football matches.
Yeah, man.
And I just think, often in football you see it when there's a high, a low follows because it's hard to get yourself as motivated. And we saw it when Arsenal played Bayern Munich, and it's one of the highest moments in football, beating maybe the second best team in the world at home. And then we go and play shockingly at Chelsea,
Yeah.
and then we have Villa, and I think it's now time for Arsenal to have a week of reflection, get some rest, and I think come back with a new sense of vigour. Because I could
Mm.
tell they were pissed off after that game. I saw a few
Yeah.
clips of Declan Rice after they scored, and he just did not seem happy. And I think
Mm.
after the game, he went up to Gabriel, and Gabriel pushed him, and he just didn't, as a joke,
Mm.
didn't seem happy. And that's what I want to see. I'm glad they weren't happy with that performance because it wasn't good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think, a big part of it, and in fact, even before I say that, Ben White going off injured,
Mm.
another one, and he's almost just come back from quite a lengthy injury last season, um, and for him to pull up again, really, really frustrating. Fortunately, Calafiori's back next week off of his ban. So I'm hoping it's a little bit of stability in the in the defence now in terms of we can have Raya in goal, Timber at right back, Calafiori left back, and then Saliba and Hincapié. But we really need Gabriel back, mate. Like
We do.
so he's so important. I remember that season where Saliba got injured towards the end of the season. Like everyone was, oh, we miss Saliba, and that season I think we did. But since then, Gabriel has been our best defender by a country mile. He's just so commanding, good in the air in both boxes, and I just feel like we really miss his leadership. To be fair, and I can even see him being the Arsenal skipper at some point. Um,
Yeah. It's one thing I don't understand. Like, I like Martin Odegaard. I'm not a Martin Odegaard hater. He gets a really hard time.
mm,
But I appreciate him a lot as a footballer, and I thought he was brilliant against Aston Villa. But I don't see him as a captain.
no,
Like, I see Gabriel as a captain. I see
yeah,
Declan Rice as a captain. I don't see Bukayo Saka as a captain either. I understand Saka's been at the club for a long time, but some people are just like the way Gabriel leads, the way Declan Rice leads. To
yeah,
me, they just have captain written all over them. And
mm,
obviously, Arteta has his own way of doing things, but I don't know what you think, but to me those two should be captain and vice captain in that side.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think like obviously there's that thing of like you know leading the team as an example, which I think, to be fair, I think Odegaard and Saka also could be like they lead the team by example. You know, maybe off the pitch and and on the pitch. You know, they do their part. So I get that, but I think there's like that old school thing in probably both of us in terms of like when like they used to show you like in the tunnel before the game, like take like the Arsenal United games from like back in like mid 2000s, yeah, and they show you the tunnel and you see like Vieira and Keane at the front, and you just think like how powerful that is. Um, like imagine seeing like Gabriel is at the front or Declan Rice is at the front, like a big, powerful, like strong characters leading the team out. Like that's I think that's just how we feel. Like Tony Adams, John Terry, like Rio Ferdinand, Steven Gerrard, like these sorts of players, like um, that's the sort of like captain that you think about, isn't it?
Yeah, like Gabriel seems to be cut from the same cloth
Mm,
as like your Roy Keanes. He's like mean, willing to
mm,
get. He's gonna get stuck in. You see the way
yeah.
he plays. He's so passionate, and Martin Odegaard is the opposite of that. He's
Mm,
technically like a brilliant footballer, but that guy is not gonna go like if it's a 50-50 tackle. I'm not
mm,
backing Martin Odegaard to
yeah.
like he likes
Yeah.
to poke his toe in there. Do you know what I mean? He's a
Yeah, like
technical
if there's a
player.
50-50 tackle, he's gonna like try and like dink it over the guy's
Yeah,
foot and
like,
that.
bro's gonna try and like just nick it just beforehand and do something goofy. Like my captain needs to go through the ball and the man.
Yeah, 100%.
And I'm sure Martin Odegaard. I'm sure he's super. Like what he does off the pitch is probably brilliant. I'm sure he's like an absolute professional in everything he does,
Mm,
and
mm,
it's probably Arteta's he's Arteta's man. But I do think the team might benefit from a Declan Rice or Gabriel.
yeah,
Um,
and I think like as well at the moment, obviously Eze is sort of playing in the 10. Like, how can you be the club captain if you're not starting every week? Um,
yeah,
I get obviously he's come back off an injury as well, so like there's that. But yeah, I don't know. That's a conversation for another day. But
I have a question for you. Actually, do you think Martin Odegaard is a 10 or an 8?
I think he's a 10, mate.
See,
I
I
do.
disagree.
I think he's a 10 based off like the intricate passes that he likes to play. However, he doesn't get enough goals and assists to be a 10.
Yeah,
So you can see why. Like, I'd be happy to try him in the 8. If like Declan's sitting the game or Declan's out, I'd be happy to try him in the 8. But I think he's more suited to the 10 as
yeah.
a player. But I know what you mean.
See, for me, Martin Odegaard, when like did I want him to come on for Arsenal? When Chelsea went down to 10 men, I
Mm,
wanted Odegaard on. Why? Because I know he's going to keep the ball and
yeah,
he's going to control the game. He's going to control the tempo of the game.
yeah,
And like I don't think he's direct enough to be a number 10. Like Eze, he's super direct. Everything he
mm,
does, it's either a dink over the top, he's looking to get a shot off, or
mm,
it's a clever bit of play. And I think Erdegaard is, his first priority is to control the ball, keep tempo of
yeah,
the game, and I think sometimes he lacks a bit of directness. I don't. I see him a bit of a. He's similar to Pedri.
yeah, yeah.
like he's super good at keeping the ball. He drops so deep now for Arsenal as well. Like you see
Mm.
him come and collect the ball like in between the centre backs, and obviously there's rotation there. And maybe Arsenal don't actually play with a 10 because
Mm.
they might he might move positions, but I see him as I just don't quite see him as a number 10. Like he's not a
Mm.
Mesut Ozil, is he?
No, no, no. I suppose not.
He's not a
Uh,
Musiala.
no. Yeah, it's a tough one, man.
It's a tough
It's a
one,
tough
but
one.
he's a great player, and I do like him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I hope, I hope we win the league, and I hope he lifts a trophy. But um, I think obviously, yeah, there's a long way to go in terms of that, and I think Arsenal just need to get back to a little wake up call last week. Let's get back to playing well, and obviously see where it takes us. But in other games that happened, so we don't want to focus too much on Arsenal.
Just spent
Obviously we
20
had
minutes
a
talking about them.
yeah, and obviously Mr. Inevitable, Mr. Robot, 3-0 Man City versus Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park. Um, Erling Haaland with 2, Phil Foden with 1. Um, talk about Haaland and Foden, bro. What were your thoughts on that game?
I just think, and I mentioned this in previous pods, and I mentioned it to you just before we started today. When you've got a player like Haaland who is just banging in the goals, it just raises everyone's level, and
Mm.
a feel good factor starts to form around the club. And
Yeah.
Man City, they've had no injuries. I think Doku got injured actually in that Palace game. But
Yeah.
if you look at them, I mean, they've had Shirky and Rodri, but they haven't had too many like players out injured. They've had most of their squad available, and
Yeah.
Haaland's banging in goals. Phil Foden has now got his confidence back, and mate,
Hmm.
Shirky is he's scary, bro. Like that Foden,
Yeah.
Shirky, Bernardo Silva combo and Doku, mate. That they they probably play the best football in the league.
Yeah. Yeah. I go along with that.
And they might not be the best team. Like defensively, maybe is where they're questionable. But
Mm.
I'm worried.
Yeah.
And if you've got Haaland up top, Arsenal don't have that.
No, I think we thought we were getting that with Victor Gyökeres. Um, or maybe not. We were getting Haaland, but we were getting the next best thing in Europe. Um, and obviously it's not turned out that way. But he is just running out of words, mate. Like, he's the fastest to 100 goals in the Premier League. He's if he stays at City for 3 more seasons, I reckon he goes past 200 goals, and then another season and a half maybe after that, he's probably going to break Shearer's record, mate.
Yeah,
Since it's insane to think about. Like, think how long that record has been there. Like, people like Wayne Rooney couldn't beat it. Harry Kane's obviously, he left, but he's still got like, even if he came back, he's still got like 50 odd goals or something like that to score. Maybe even slightly more. People like Aguero, Henri, Andy Cole, like these sorts of players, like that record has been there, and I just feel like Haaland's. I think he'll just prove a point and just beat it. Um,
yeah,
just don't think it's going to take him long, mate. It's scary. Like every single game, like you like you go on the live score app and you see Man City with like 1-0 up or 2-0 up, and you just know his name's going to be on there.
Yeah.
And like, it's just not even a surprise. Like, he's got 17 league goals in 16 league games now, I think it is. Um, and then you add the Champions League goals onto that, and it's scary, bro. It is actually scary.
He's a freak.
Mm,
Like his size, he's so quick as well, mate. Like he
yeah.
is rapid.
Mm,
And mate, he was just made to score goals. Like he is,
yeah.
he's kind of like the thing is, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. He was quite skillful. He was probably as big as Haaland, but he wasn't as rapid,
He, no, he was never like quick.
and he was never as good as finishing. And
No.
like Haaland, I think he's like recorded one of the fastest um like sprint speeds this season. Like he is just ridiculously good, and
Mm,
he makes it. The thing is, he just makes it look so easy by the way he just bullies defenders.
yeah.
Um, I think that it was that finish against Fulham, and like Doku just like played the ball, landed perfectly, and he just smashed the ball back in. Like he just
Yeah.
smashed the ball in the back of the net. Like the
Yeah.
keeper straight at the keeper, but there was so much power behind it. The keeper
Yeah.
had
It's
no
just,
chance. You
yeah.
don't see that nowadays. He's just got the composure, and he's got the
Mm,
confidence. And do you know what? I actually really like him. Like
yeah.
he's a funny guy, and he
Yeah.
he seems like real. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I like Haaland. It's just a shame he plays for Man City.
Yeah. And to be fair, over the last few weeks, Phil Foden has looked back to his best. It looks like he's enjoying his football again. I think Shirky coming back has actually really helped. Because he's some player, and I think he sort of like, obviously once he beats a man or beats two men, then like obviously he's looking for that sort of pass to Haaland or Foden, and that's what happened. Like he beat someone against Palace and then laid it off to Foden, and it was a really good finish, to be fair, um, from Foden, and like he's got another goal on the list. So
Yeah,
Man City are looking quite scary, mate. They're looking like they're going they're at that start of that run where they could just keep winning, keep winning, keep winning.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I think I sent you their next like 4 or 6 fixtures, and they're very winnable games.
Very winnable games. Do you know who I want to touch on as well? Like, I think they'll win all those games. I'll be very surprised. They haven't had many injuries either, so they seem fresh as well. They don't seem
Mm,
to have this Arsenal hangover that Arsenal always seem to get. Like Man City always just seem to pop the ball around. It's because they're such a possession-based team.
mm,
Um, but Nico O'Reilly, mate, the
mm.
left back, he comes up with a few goals. He's quick. He's tall.
Yeah,
Good attacker, and he's just sometimes. Do you remember when Klopp brought in Trent Alexander-Arnold and Andy Robertson, and it kind of just transferred like Liverpool? You're like, wow, this guy's actually starting these young kids, and obviously
mm,
Trent and Andy Robertson, what a player he was
mm,
as well. And it's like Pep's found a good player there, Nico O'Reilly,
yeah,
and he's kind of fixed that left back problem that they did have, and he's allowed Guardiola to come into as centre back,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Guardiola and Ruben Diaz. That's two expensive centre backs right there,
yeah,
and
man.
a lot of people don't talk about how much money has been spent on this Man City team. They talk about
Yeah,
a lot about how much money Liverpool spent in the summer, but
mm,
do you remember in January, like how they bought Marmoush, they bought Gonzalez, they bought that
mm,
a couple of other like younger players. They spent like ridiculous amounts
yeah,
in January, and no other teams can compete with Man City's financial power. They just can't.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree, and like obviously you were saying the other day about Lewis Hall being sort of England's best left back, and I think Nico O'Reilly's close behind. I think whilst Lewis Skelly isn't getting any game time at Arsenal, I think those two are currently our best left backs for England. I think if Lewis Skelly was playing and he was on form like last season, he is sort of proved that he's probably England's best left back. But I think this season so far, I think you're right. Lewis Hall and Nico O'Reilly are the top two.
Yeah, Lewis Hall, mate. I think he's a player. Like he's so good going forward, and
Yeah,
he's tenacious, and I really like him. I really like him as a player. I think he's England's best left back. Nico O'Reilly, yeah, I agree with you, man. And the thing about Lewis Skelly, mate, I'm not sure he's a left back.
I don't think he is, mate. Like obviously we know he's not by trade, and obviously he just did a job there last season. And I think this season he's obviously getting. I think part of it is down to he hasn't played, and he's just obviously been thrown in there. And few games that he has been thrown in, he's played against a couple of decent wingers. To be fair, he played against obviously Elise and that Lennart Carl against Bayern. Then when we played against Bruges, that right winger, he was, bro. By the way, he was so good.
He was
John,
sick.
in that game, John, it actually made sense. He's the only player since because he's Portuguese. He's the only player since Ronaldo has been playing for Portugal. He's the only player to wear the number 7 since Ronaldo has
Oh,
been playing, and he only wore it because I think Ronaldo I think he missed a camp or something, or maybe had a red card, so he wore the number 7. But yeah, he's the only player to wear the Portuguese number 7. But he was so good, bro. He was I'd be interested in see what happens to him in the future. To be fair,
mate, he was rapid, and he was
rapid, skillful, confident. Yeah.
gave us trouble. Like Arsenal obviously won the game 3-0, but it wasn't. There was moments when Bruges were really applying pressure, and it mainly came through him, and he was rapid
Yeah.
on the attack. Great, yeah, he's definitely one to watch. He's probably quite
Yeah.
young as well. I don't really know too much about
Yeah.
him.
Yeah. Another game that I wanted to talk about
Yeah,
was a Nottingham Forest 3, Tottenham Hotspur 0. Vicario, another mistake, another week, another mistake for Vicario, and a couple of insane goals by Hudson-Odoi and Sangare.
just want to add to that. Another week, another mistake from Vicario, and another week of Vicario blaming someone else for his own mistakes.
Oh, mate, yeah. Guy loves blaming people.
No, I've never seen that guy make a mistake in his own head, and that's probably part of the problem. He was pointing at that. Is it Andy Gray that he passed it to?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Archie Gray.
Archie Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, he passed it to Archie Gray, hospital pass. Why are you passing it to him there? And then he's just having a go at him. And what do you expect from a Tottenham player?
It's so embarrassing, honestly. I feel bad because I quite liked Thomas Frank as a manager, but just doesn't seem to be. John, I think obviously they won the Europa League last season, and look, I don't think that winning the Conference League or the Europa League is a hard thing to do. It being an English team, for example, obviously West Ham won the Conference League when they were in it.
Yeah,
Chelsea won it. Obviously Crystal Palace are in it this year. Really, they should be winning that. And then Europa League wise, obviously Tottenham won it last season. United got to the final, and this season you've got Aston Villa and Nottingham Forest, who should both be getting to probably the semi-finals minimum. One of them should be getting to the final and probably winning it. Let's be honest, because these teams don't drop down into other competitions anymore. It's so easy to win, the second and third European trophies. So I'm not buying this whole, they won the Europa League last year and blah blah blah. Like that doesn't mean anything anymore. I don't think. Like,
Yeah.
great, it's a trophy. Don't get me wrong, but that trophy doesn't mean anything anymore because it's so watered down. The best teams that are in that from other leagues are like, I'm trying to think like Valencia, who are like mid-table in their league, or Panathinaikos or Olympiacos, and like teams like that. Like it's just these English teams have so much like better resources, better squads. Like they should be winning these tournaments. So
Yeah.
Tottenham. Tottenham just been terrible, mate. Absolutely terrible, and I'm just not buying anything that anything they did in Europe last season is nothing on what it should be.
No, I 100% agree. And I'm actually going to call out Tottenham fans right now because I think your expectations for your club are too high. You are not a big club. You're not. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're not a big club.
Yeah.
You should be thanking Thomas Frank right now because you're not 17th place in the league. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So your expectations are to be top four when you were 17th last season.
Yeah.
You should be.
Yeah.
You should build a statue for Thomas Frank outside
Yeah.
that stadium because what he's doing is absolutely sensational.
Yeah.
You spent a ridiculous amount on absolute crap. Their summer signings
Mm-hmm.
have been absolutely woeful. Like Kolo Muani on loan, Paulinho, like
Yeah.
shocking signing. Xavi Simons
Mm-hmm.
as well, completely unproven, and definitely not the type of player you bring into a Spurs like a team that came in 17th. Just because they've got
Yeah.
a nice new stadium and they had
Yeah.
their glory days involved them not winning anything with, a few years back when they had Harry Kane and they hit the lottery when Gareth Bale was there, and then all of a sudden they spawned Harry Kane. The reality of it is Tottenham are not a big club, and they're just
Yeah.
not. So the fans' expectations that they're acting like they're Man United, and they're
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
disbelief because
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
position their club's in, and they should be challenging with Man City. Tottenham's
Yeah.
greatest
Just
achievement was losing a Champions League final to Liverpool, and
uh,
I have one of my mates is like he's a Tottenham fan, and I just keep saying to him, you're Tottenham. You're not this top six nonsense. Like there was a top four. You got Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, and Man City. There's a top five. Don't put Tottenham in that top six
yeah.
conversation because
Yeah.
Aston Villa are a bigger club than them.
Yeah. Newcastle,
Newcastle are
arguably.
a bigger club.
Yeah.
You're just Tottenham are just they're just an English team. They're not one of the top four. They're not one of the classic clubs. They're just
Yeah.
not. And like say thank you to Thomas Frank because he's doing such a good job.
I said, say thank you. Yeah, that's mad. That's true, but it's true, bro. That like they're not in 17th, and they should be thankful of that. They to be fair to them, they've been doing all right in Champions League. They might make the playoff round. Um,
That
you
should be
know,
that's a massive achievement for Tottenham.
yeah,
That's huge.
absolutely, mate. I mean, they did have the easiest fixture list out of absolutely everyone in the whole fucking league phase, but you know, so really they should be in the top eight come the end of the 8 games, but they won't be. They'll probably be in the playoffs. And yeah, well, we'll see how it goes for them, but
And they should be
like I say,
grateful for that playoffs.
yeah, no, I agree, especially with their squad, mate. Their players are just nowhere near it. Their players are nowhere near it, mate. That there's so many teams in the league that are better than them, and just goes to show with their results. Just goes to show, mate.
They're just.
But
I've genuinely. I'm not trying to wind them up. I'm
mm,
not trying to wind. This isn't me trying to wind Tottenham fans up. This is actual like me saying my opinion. And
mm,
your expectations are too high. They're way too
mm,
high. You need to come back down
yeah.
again. Let's come back to reality. Be grateful that you're not in 17th. If it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
for the bottom three, the promoted teams last season being absolutely woeful, you might be in the championship right now.
Yeah,
So,
mad.
you should be thanking Thomas Frank for what he's doing, because I feel really sorry for him. He's a great guy. That guy's gone
Mm,
through so much gum already this season, and it is what it is. You know,
mm.
yeah.
I want to talk to you about the title race. Obviously, currently Arsenal are top of the tree by 3 points, second to Man City, and then Aston Villa are closely behind. Um, who they've won their last 9 out of 10 Premier League games. What do you think of their sort of rise? Do you think they're in a title race or?
I think Aston Villa right now have a very, very special player on their hands. And I think
Mm,
in the summer, he's going to go for some serious money.
mm,
And I think that's Morgan Rogers.
yeah,
I think he was such a handful when Arsenal played against Villa Park. And he's just quality. And the goals he's scoring are ridiculous as well. And
yeah,
they're a very good team. Like Yuri Tielemans, mate. He's just I
mm,
take him at Arsenal, and I think he gets into pretty much any team. Like he's just so safe on the ball, and Unai Emery is tactically really good.
hmm,
But I do think they'll have they'll have they'll dip, and
yeah.
you know
I don't think their squad's big enough.
I think Villa pretty much exactly, and I think Villa like each season they have like that seriously good spell, and then
Mm.
they kind of like have a few rogue results, and I think I'd be very surprised if Aston Villa, maintain this type of form. What about you?
No, I agree. I think eventually they'll drop off, but whilst they're playing how they're playing, apologies. Fair play to them. And you know, it may continue for a couple of weeks, maybe for a couple of months, but I think like you say, eventually they will drop off. I just don't think the squad's big enough. Obviously, eventually as well. What I think they'll obviously Unai Emery's a serial Europa League winner. I think he's won it 4 times now. He'll be looking for his 5th trophy. Obviously, Aston Villa, from what I remember, they haven't won a trophy since 1996. So that's a competition where they could really, push deep in the competition and win. So I think come February, March time, when they get to like the quarters and stuff like that, I think he might rest players in the Prem to try and win the Europa League, which obviously would also gain them instant qualification to the Champions League in case they did miss out on the top 4, which I don't think they will. And mate, a top 4 finish and a Europa League win would be an incredible, incredible achievement for Aston Villa. And would
Yeah,
just go to showcase what a good manager Unai Emery is.
no, 100%. I really like Aston Villa as well.
Mm,
I think the quality. Like, I always liked them even with like Ashley Young there, and
yeah,
Gary Bonlahor, and was it Carew, Jonathan
yeah,
Carew?
John Carew. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Gareth
I
Barry
always
and that.
yeah. James Milner was there for a little bit as well.
Yeah,
I've always liked
yeah.
Aston Villa
Mate,
and
mate, that's a proper club, mate. That is a proper
proper club.
footballing institutional club.
Yeah, proper club. And I hope they. Do you know what? I hope they finish second. And do you know one thing I'm happy about? I'm happy there is a title race because
Yeah,
I do want to see, like, I want to feel that Arsenal, like, if Arsenal do go on to win it, I want to feel that they've gone through the fire to get there and they've learned
yeah, yeah.
from previous seasons. I don't want it to be all hunky
Just like
dory
at a
and
canter, like just won it,
yeah.
and yeah.
I want to see like ups and downs, and I want to see how this team reacts because I think I want the best for my club, and obviously I just want to see if they've learned anything. You know,
Mm, yeah. No, I agree.
bro. Just before we finish, I just wanted to talk to you about we're almost halfway through the season, and I thought
Yeah.
we could var from the truths 5 standout players of the season, 5
Okay.
flops, and 5 most overrated players in the season so far.
Sounds good to me. Is it five each or just five between us? What were you
5
thinking?
between us. We'll have a little
Yeah.
discussion and like decide on the 5.
Okay. What we're gonna start with?
Should we start with standouts?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in number 5 for Jurien Timber. I don't know if he might be
Yeah.
higher on that list for you, but I just think he's been so good.
Hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. I think he's been the best fullback in the league this year. Um, Probably even in Europe, to be honest. Always available, whether that's at right back, left back, centre back. Always gives you minimum 7 or 8 out of 10. Um, Pops up with a goal every now and then, pops up with an assist. Um, Really integral part of Arsenal's sort of defence and title charge this year. So yeah, I completely agree with you there. Really special football player. Really special football player.
100%. I think he's just yeah, he's been brilliant this season. He's raised his level again.
Mm, yeah, absolutely.
Who are we thinking at 4?
Um, I'm gonna put a shout in for. So I think he's been doing quite well all season, but over the last 3 to 4 weeks, I think he's played very, very well. And that's Harry Wilson at Fulham. Um, Bit of a forgotten player in terms of like, probably gone under the radar at Fulham.
Yeah.
But obviously he got that goal away at Tottenham, obviously where Curry made that mistake. And then
Yeah.
they played against Burnley last week, I think,
He's
and
that
he
left
got
winger,
two
isn't he?
assists and goal.
Right winger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right winger, yeah, left footed.
yeah, he's got a
Um,
good left foot.
Yeah, Welsh. Yeah, Welsh. But it's one of those players you need to like watch the games, but he's very, very, very talented player. And just in a rich vein of form at the moment. So I needed to get him in the list.
Okay, we'll do that then. So we got Timber, Harry Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Who are you thinking for number 3?
Hmm. I'm thinking that there's a couple players that like come. I've got 3 players in my head that I feel
Mm.
should be on this list. I think. What about Morgan Rogers, mate?
Yeah.
Villa have won 9 games in a row, and he's
Yeah.
been integral part of that, scoring
Mm-hmm.
quite a few screamers.
Mm. I'm happy to go with Morgan Rogers at number 3.
Yeah,
He's he's been Villa's brightest spark. I think he's gonna push if he keeps playing how he's playing for the rest of the season. Jude Bellingham might be a bit worried about starting for England in the World Cup, mate.
Rogers is so good. I think he needs to
Hmm.
stop. He has. If he carries on that, what a team England have got, mate. It's just crazy.
Mm.
I wouldn't. I
Yeah,
actually wouldn't want to be Thomas Tuchel because you can't. Like, how are you going to pick Palmer, Foden, Rogers, Saka, Bellingham? Like, that's just a crazy. Crazy, isn't it?
mad, bro. It's mad. Yeah, it's nuts.
Down to our top two. Who are you thinking? Should I? Can I give you a few names that are coming to
Yeah,
my head?
yeah, yeah. Hmm.
I think. Actually, I was thinking Moises Caicedo, but I think
Mm.
that red card and the fact that Chelsea haven't been that great
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
removes him from the list.
yeah,
Then Declan Rice,
yeah,
a bit of a rogue one, but Leandro Trossard,
yeah, yeah.
and obviously, yeah, those are kind of like the two players I'm thinking in
I
terms
think,
of second.
I think, I think for me, I think our number two and number one are probably the same. I think number two is Declan Rice. Um, Apart from that game against Wolves, he's been, another reason why Arsenal are doing what they're doing. Um, Really, just that, like we said earlier, that sort of captain um, mentality. Driving us up the pitch. Um, Again, liable for a goal, liable for an assist. Always put in 100%, 110% in. It really plays for the badge, and always 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10 every game. And just an excellent football player, mate. Excellent football player. So yeah, I think he's definitely number two on the list for players this season.
I've got to agree with that. Yeah, I was thinking
Mm.
Rice. I was trying to make an argument for someone else, but yeah. Honourable mention Leandro Trossard and Semenyo, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Um,
Um, and then
I
there's
assume.
only, there's,
Yeah, I don't.
there's
I don't
only
even think
one
we need to
man.
even say anything.
We're both thinking Vicario, aren't we?
uh,
No,
trust,
I think
trust.
Erling Haaland, bro, number one.
Yeah, absolutely. Just we don't even need to say anything. It's just a
No,
machine, mate. Just a machine. 17 league goals and 16 league games is all I need to say.
yeah, it's crazy. Um, five flops. Think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go number five. And tell me if I'm wrong. Victor Yokeresh.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's fair, mate. I think it's about time that you know, I think he's settled in now. I think his fitness levels, that's not a argument anymore. And it's just the pure fact that, look, I think part of it is he's not getting the service that he should be getting sometimes.
Yeah,
However, you should also be making your own sort of chances and stuff like that. And he's just not scored. He's just not scored enough goals as he should be doing,
no,
um, or, or
and
or or as we would like. So I think that's what you've got to put. He's not been Arsenal's worst player. Um, and he has scored a few goals, but it's just not enough as what obviously we were expecting.
yeah, I agree. I think like when you look at it, he. The thing is, he just seems a bit clunky. I've got a
Mm.
theory that Gyökeres is going to do well next season. I've just got a
Yeah,
feeling.
yeah.
I've got a feeling he's going to be a season two player. And I think like I noticed when Gabriel Jesus came on against Brugge, and the game just started flowing for Arsenal up top. And I think Gyökeres is the
Mm.
type of player that he's just not hit the heights that I expected from him, mate. He's not been that killer in front of goal, and he's
Mm.
he just hasn't. he hasn't taken. He's a type of player I thought would take Arsenal by the scruff of the neck and get us to win, and I haven't seen that yet. So yeah, number 5.
Yeah,
Number
fair.
4, bro. Oh,
I'm gonna go Benjamin Sesko, mate. I
yeah,
just don't think. I think the same as Gyökeres, he just hasn't.
he's
Yeah,
been worse.
yeah, he has been.
He
He has
scored
been.
one goal.
Yeah, he's been worse, and I think a bit of the same story as Gyökeres. I think maybe next season he might be a bit better. Obviously he's a bit younger than Victor, but yeah, just not hit the heights at all. For the price tag. So yeah, pretty self-explanatory to be honest.
Number 3, I'm gonna go Mo Salah. Tell me, like,
Mm.
we can debate these as well if we like. If you think of any other names, but I just think it isn't signings, but he's been a flop, mate. Mo Salah,
Mm-hmm.
30, what the GA he had last season, Ballon d'Or contender, and to
Mm.
go to his team losing like 9 games in a row, barely producing any assists, barely helping his team, and then having a little cry when he doesn't get started. And I mean, he actually should be higher in the list potentially.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think I agree with you there, mate. I put him down at number 3 for flops. Just like you say, off the back of last season, we all thought, all right, there might be a slight decline, but nothing crazy. But he's just fell off a cliff, to be honest. I think he misses his mate Trent, um, and a couple other players that he probably misses, that did his dirty work for him, and he just shows up at the end and scores the goals. But look, yeah, he's been nowhere near it, and I think he's deserves his place at number 3 on the list.
Agreed. Number 2,
Got to be Vicario, surely. Um,
the thing is, mate, there's 2 players I'm thinking of that have got to be on this list.
I mean, I know who my number 1 is. That is just without a doubt. And I think we're both thinking the same. But who are you thinking for number 2?
Well, I think there's 2 players that need to. Like, I just can't see why. Like, Alexander Isak has got to be on this list.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I mean, he's
yeah. Okay.
150 million
Yeah. Do you know
euros.
what? I that's how bad it is. I forgot about him.
Like,
That's how
mate,
bad it
he's
is.
getting off so lightly. Like, and the thing is, he doesn't have
Mm,
the excuse of coming from like, he's played in the Prem,
yeah, yeah, and
but like,
like
I think,
his
and I
fitness,
actually,
his fitness should be up to speed now.
yeah, but I actually think he should be number 1 because of the fact he
Mm,
hasn't transitioned from a Prem team. Like, he's come from the Prem. He was more
mm,
expensive. He did all of that
mm.
stuff to get his move, and I think we're talking about the most expensive player in Britain, like in the Premier League of all time,
That's
and he's
mad.
like,
Yeah,
he's not, he's getting like he can't get a sniff because of Ekatike.
yeah. Who's been very very good to be fair.
Yeah, he's been good.
Um, I think yeah.
Uh,
I think you can make an argument for who's 1 and 2, but 1 and 2 are Alexander Isak and Cardio Man, aka Florian Wirtz. Um,
oh, trust.
so
So joke. Like, for those of you that don't understand the
imagine that.
card,
Imagine that. 3 Liverpool players at the top of that list.
and mate, there's an argument that Virgil van Dijk, the best centre back of all time, needs to be on this list as well. There's an argument.
That best centre back of all time stuff needs to stop now. Like I don't remember John Terry or Rio Ferdinand doing
No,
these sorts of things. Like even like when John Terry was in his last season at Chelsea, for example, like he won the league, bro. In his last
trust.
season, like people thought his legs are gone. Nah, like he was like defending a different way. Like he was. thinking about the game, whereas Van Dijk's just stepping off of players and they're shooting and scoring.
Yeah.
Or he's twerking and he's
Yeah.
getting fucking beat. Oh, he's just this. It needs to stop, mate. It needs to
Does.
stop.
It does need to stop. 100%. So yeah, I think to be fair, most overrated players and flops kind of in the same bracket.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I think that's enough for today.
yeah, just to run that by you, then we got Timber in our fifth standout player of the season. We got Wilson from Fulham, number 4. We got Rodgers in number 3. Got Declan Rice number 2 and Erling Haaland number 1. And then
hmm
flops of the season, we got Victor Gyökeres in 5. We've got Benjamin Tesco at number 4. We've got Mo Salah at number 3. Cardio Man comes in number 2. And,
Specs
well,
Gonzalez.
ah, in number 1.
Yeah,
But
and that
yeah,
rounds it up, I think.
it rounds it up. It rounds it up. Um, yeah, it's been good. Thank you so much for listening and all the support. Please like and subscribe. It means a lot
Yes,
when you do. There'll be clips coming out throughout the week. You know, there's a lot of football coming up, so please put the notifications on to get the latest updates from Far From the Truth. Episodes dropping on Tuesday. And Points of the Board, our prediction show, will be out on Friday or Saturday. But yeah, thanks, mate. It's always been good.
absolutely. Here's the next week, man.
See you in a bit. Have a good one.
And you.